Hey everyone, guess what time it is? Guess what time? It is tour time. We're touring my finally finished Witch Core Island Amethyst. I thought, you know what? I really liked it in the snow with like this grey sky. So I'm going to set the dream address at this time. And we're also going to do the tour this time, but let's get on into it. So like I said, this is my finished Witch Core Island. I finally finished a witchy island. It's kind of like a little town, a little bit of natural as well, but we'll show you that as we walk around. So here's my flag. Nothing special. I didn't have any more spaces for a design, so I just used one I already had, which I normally do anyway. As for the airport, it's yellow. I know it probably would have been better if it was maybe, I don't know, orange, but it's not. And I couldn't be bothered to keep resetting to get an orange airport, so it's yellow. Anyway, let me show you my map. Okay, so here is the map of Amethyst. As you can see, nothing crazy, nothing special. It is completely flat though, apart from a few little terraform bits where we've done some fake buildings, but otherwise it is completely flat and there is waterscaping. But here are my villagers. So I have Muffy, Mallory, Agnes, Nan, Kiki, Raymond, Rodeo, Weber, Roswell, and Blair. I nearly called Roswell Alfonso them. Big mistake, that's not Alfonso. So there will be a dream address, which I'll put at the beginning of this video and also down in the description. But I haven't set the dream address yet, but here we are. Here is Amethyst. So this is the entrance. By the way, most of the areas on this island, pretty much all of them, in fact, I have done builds for, kind of not speed builds. They're not speed builds. They're more like confusion chaos builds. So I've done those. Go watch them if you're interested to see how anything is done. But here is our entrance into Amethyst. We can sit here on this little bench. We have like a little middle section going on there with a lovely fountain. Also, I am setting the dream address this time of year because I really like how the trees look. So anyway, let's go to the left first. Also, I know I said I was going to put leaf piles everywhere, but it's already starting to lag and I didn't want to make it worse and it'd be a really horrible experience to come visit. Anyway, this little section is basically just benches and some lamp partitions. I didn't know what to do here, if I'm going to be honest. I didn't, so it's just like that. Also, as we're walking around, you'll see that I have these wagons and I also have the rodeo springy ride-ons because obviously we don't have horses unless they're a villager. So I have these scattered around the whole like town sort of area. So yeah, keep an eye out for those. Now we've come to our first fake building of the island, and now this is our little witch's hat and witch's umbrella shop. It's not too crazy. It's very simple. I don't enjoy doing the fake buildings, but I really wanted some on this island. So obviously you've got to kind of work around it somehow, and that's what I've done. Next door to the witch hat and umbrella shop though, we have the robes, shoes, and wand shop. I really liked these shoe boxes because they look like they could have wands in them and not just shoes necessarily. So I really liked that idea. But again, another simple building idea. If you want to see how I've done it, it's very easy. It's not too technical. Go watch my video series Amethyst. Right, now let's carry on across here. Also, as we walk around, I will be picking up the sticks because I was too lazy to do it before I started the tour. This shop over here, however, is our bookshop. I didn't really like this build too much. I couldn't really do too much with it because it's a small but big space, but the books just don't go where you want them. So it was kind of one of those things where I just had to make do and just, yeah, it came out okay. It's not my favorite. Now, an area that I didn't build on a video was this area down here. It's just like a little market area. So we've got some flower stalls, a book map stall, I don't know, incense stall, and then over this side we have whatever this store is. A book stall, a hat, and there's a balloon. The balloon is in our way. Go away, balloon. We have the hats and robes. We got a little parcels stall here, and then we got this little area where you can just get some freshly cooked goods, I suppose. But it's okay. It's not my favorite. I will admit, this island was starting as my favorite, and then as I was doing more and more of it, I kind of just, I don't know, just not my favorite. My favorite theme is always going to be kidcore, but it is nice to kind of break it up every now and then with something like this. But yeah, I think my heart belongs to brightly colored fun islands. Anyway, back here we have some wagons. I stuck these in last minute because I thought this gap looked really plain, so I had to put something here. But anyway, before we go to the right side, let's go left first. So this will lead you round to a little walking section where you can see there's like a pond behind, and then to the left side it will lead you to the lighthouse. Now I always feel like I stick a lighthouse on the end of this little island outcrop. I can't say the word, so if you're wondering why I'm not saying the proper word, because I can't pronounce it properly, okay? 9 times out of 10 I say it wrong. But anyway, this is the little lighthouse section. Maybe one day I'll do something that isn't a lighthouse. Right, back down here though. So this will actually lead you to Able Sisters. So we've got little Able Sisters here, somewhere to sit outside, or you know, somewhere for them to sit if they ever get a break. And then in front, I kind of did a little clothes market behind these castle towers. You can't really see it too well. That's why I didn't over decorate it, because there was no point, because you're not going to see it. But obviously we got a little sewing thing, little shoes. These are rare specimen shoes. They are rare shoes. That's why they're in this glass little cabinet, in case you're wondering. And the same with this hat. They're probably worth 1,000,000 bells each. I don't know. Just make it up. Okay, let's go through this way. Now, before we head up there, we're going to carry on checking out the town. So we have another little fake building here, which is a flower or plant shop. And I like this one. This is one of my first fake buildings that I built on this island. So I think it came out okay. By the way, I really love the snow. It kind of gets you ready for the winter season. This is an in-between island. That's what I'm going to call it. So this little walkway will lead you back towards the entrance. You could actually go right the way round. So you can go all the way like this, and this will lead you back up to the plant shop, and also you can walk along the back here, which I'll quickly show you. So this is behind resident services. Oh, you get quite a nice view from here. I didn't realize. Anyway, I'm distracted. So behind resident services, we just have like a little bridge moment, and Kiki, hi, sweet Kiki. Isn't she adorable? She's my favorite on this island, I swear. Her and Roswell and Muffy. Actually, I like all of them. Anyway, this is behind resident services, and it will just lead you all the way along the back here. Also, we got a few cauldrons in a few spots just to make it feel a little bit more witchy vibes, you know, because at the moment it felt really towny here and I wasn't too happy with it. But anyway, let's go back through resident services. So we're back over by the plant shop, and we're gonna just walk all the way down this way now. And we got another little area that I've just filled out with benches and some lights and some flowers. I like these little areas. They kind of make it feel a little bit more built up, so that's why I have those. This will lead you to resident services, and in front of resident services we have another like little market area. I'm guessing I really liked markets for this island. They're great space fillers, especially if you're doing a town or a city. Definitely fill an area with a market. I mean, this one has a little area where you can sit outside. Now pretend this is bread. It's covered in snow, but it's bread covered in snow now. So back down in front of resident services, you can actually walk all the way down to here and you'll get to a graveyard. I really like how this came out. This is kind of just a nice tidy graveyard. Also, while we're here, I will mention there is no way, well, there should be no way that you can access any of the beaches, so don't try. Because I don't think you'll be able to. Now heading to the right side of the graveyard, you can see I've kind of blocked off the beaches like this. Ignore the fact that Daisy May is here. I didn't realize it was Sunday, but I've blocked it off as best as I can all the way along. Obviously, feel free to come to the dream address to see how I've done it properly. But now we get to the museum. I noticed a few of the pumpkins are on, so let's turn those off. They're not supposed to be on. Anyway, here is the museum. I think I really like this. It came out super nice. It's probably one of the grandest museum builds that I've ever done. Next to each side of the museum, we've got little walkways, little cut-throughs that just lead you through each side. So we got one that side and one the other side. As you can see, we got more of these little horses and wagons everywhere. I really like them. I think they're cute. Now heading up this way, you can see I also continued the medieval walls all the way up to block off the beach access. And that leads you to a little resident area, which we'll check out in just a second, because I want to go to the left side first. And I want to show you that this is Nook's Cranny. Yep, Nook's Cranny. I've tried to cover it up as much as possible. It definitely feels a lot like a medieval building to me. You know, it feels very medieval. I kind of like that. Would I ever do a medieval island? Probably not. I think this is probably the closest you're going to get to me doing a medieval island. I know my heart definitely belongs to more colorful islands. I enjoyed this. This was a fun build. I really like this one. Next to the Nook's Cranny area is that resident area we have. So we got some residents living here. I think this is Blair's house and this is Raymond's house. I didn't do this in a video because I really didn't know what I was going to do with it. It was such a small space. It literally wouldn't have been a very long video, that's for sure. But anyway, we've got a few villagers back here as well. I believe that's Mallory and Rodeo, but they just live here. They're just minding their own business. Ignore all the fossils on the grass over there. I'm not gonna dig those up. They don't need to bother us, so we're not gonna bother them. Now, leaving the resident area, we're actually gonna go over to the more natural section of the island now. So if you cross over this angled bridge, you can see there's some train tracks. Now you can actually follow these train tracks all the way along if you wish to, and it will take you from one side of the island to the other, but we're gonna cross over to here. We've got some wooden planks on the floor and there's lots of water terraforming. This was kind of my more swampier area, which was a nod to the old witch island I was going to do. So the old witch island I was going to do was going to be swamp core and a witch core island, but I never ended up finishing it. I actually ended up knocking most of it down, but I never stuck to it and I never finished it. So this is why we did a witch island this time around. We actually finished it. Anyway, this is Roswell's house. Roswell likes to make little vases and little pots, so we've given him this cute little section. I think it's kind of adorable. He's just in this corner all by himself. It was quite a big build. It took me a long time to terraform platform, everything, that's for sure. So we've come back to these train tracks, and before we follow the train tracks, we're just going to go up this way. Now to the left is another residential area for all our island witches, but we'll check that out in just a bit. Back here we have the gyroid area. This is a nice little filler that I had. So it's full of the gyroids. This is just a magical little gyroid home, I guess. I don't really know what I'd call this, but I had so much fun creating this area because they're just so adorable. I love the gyroids. Now we could go into the resident area, but we are going to go a different way instead. We've got this lovely little transition area that I did. I really liked how the path came out for this bit. Super duper happy with it. Sometimes the path just works, you know? Other days, not so much. So now let's follow the train tracks along. So I always like to have train tracks on my island most of the time. I don't know why, I just really do like them. But this leads you to a bridge that leads you to the back of resident services. So you know where we are now. You know where we are on the map. Right, now let's follow this path around though. So you can follow the path. It's very much a natural path and it follows along to the train tracks as well. And then you get to another little angle bridge what leads you back to where we had that plant shop, you know, the fake building, the plant shop, and then it's obviously Able Sisters on the left there. But we're gonna go back across and we're gonna explore this bit. So here are the train tracks, which I really like this crossover because it looks like the wagon is going over it. That's why we have these tracks. Also, by the way, any of the codes that I've used in this island will be in the description down below. So if you see any of the codes that you'd like to use on your island, you'll find the MAs down there. So make sure you check it out. Now, following the train tracks still, you get to this little abandoned train station. I love this abandoned train station. It's very much inspired by my other abandoned train station that I did on my Halloween island Phantom. And so I pretty much brought that over but changed it to fit this aesthetic as well. And I love it. I absolutely love this build. This is probably one of my favorite ones on this island next to the witch house area, which we'll get to in just a bit. Now we're going to carry on following the tracks some more, and this will lead you to a villager's house. So this is Weber's house. Weber is our little miner. He likes to go into the mines and get all the precious stones, precious gems out. These are amethysts. So yep, amethysts on amethyst. He also likes to do a little spot of fishing in his own time. So he's got a little fishing section just right here so he can do some fishing. I don't know how many times I can say fishing in like 10 seconds, but I did. He's got a more of a researcher area here. I think that's what I was going for. But anyway, we're going to follow the path back this way now. Before we head to the right side, we're going to go to my latest build that I did. And this is the rock garden. Oh my gosh, this rock garden fell into place so perfectly when we did it. If you want to see the video, go check it out. It was the latest build that I did on Amethyst. But oh my gosh, I love this rock garden so much. And I chucked a big old moon in the middle because why not? But you can actually walk around this whole rock garden. That's how we did the little path. And I just really like how that looked. I know I said I was going to put leaf piles here, but obviously the lag is already bad enough. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to make it worse. Now heading to the right side, you'll be brought to my house. So my house is not decorated, nor any of the villager houses. I'm not too much of a beach or interior decorator, so I didn't fancy doing them on this island. But I've got a little potions area outside, which I thought was really, really cute. You know, I need somewhere to do the potions outside. I feel like inside is too dangerous. Also, next to my house, I have my own little pumpkin farm. This farm only has white and green pumpkins, as you can see. And it was just so it kind of all fit in better with the aesthetic. I feel like the yellow and orange would have really stuck out. Also, I didn't decorate Red Secret Beach. Like I said, I don't decorate the beaches most of the time. I just can't. I don't enjoy doing them. And I always let people know that if you don't enjoy building a certain area, whether it be interiors, beaches, back of your island, don't do it. It's your game. You build what you like. Also, Weber is here. Sweet little Weber, I love him. Now we're going to move on to my most favoritist part next to the abandoned station, and that is my little witch house area. So we got our little witches who live here. They all live in this cute little area. So this is Nan's house. Nan is our local little baker. She likes to bake pies or bread, so that's what she's got for her section. They also have an area where they can do potions together. They can make spells together, because why not? They would, right? They would do that. Also, this pond I thought looked so good here. It filled a massive space. Then we have Muffy's house. Muffy is kind of the head witch, so she's kind of the mother of the bunch. She makes sure everyone's okay. She knows all the spells, and she also can tell the future, apparently. She can tell the future. Oh, and she makes great tea. Now, in front of Muffy's house, we have the one and only, the fashionable one, Agnes. Agnes is our fashion queen witch, and she makes all the gowns and all the coats and all the clothes and robes for all the witches on the island. So yeah, she's our little fashionista. In front of Agnes, we have the last of the sisters, and that is Kiki. Kiki's our little bookworm. She loves a good read. She loves to study. She makes sure she's caught up on all the information she needs to know about everything. So that's why she's got a few books outside her house. And then we have a mushroom. We have a lovely mush parasol. But yeah, we can actually go over this angle bridge, and it will lead you to that little crossover area where we had the tracks, the tire tracks. And then that will lead you all the way back over here and back to where Able Sisters was. And I believe we've done full circle of the island. And there we have it. We finished looking around my finished Witch Core Island Amethyst. I'm so glad that I finally managed to get a Witch Core Island done, because I know so many of you were waiting for me to do one, and it's finished. It's done. I'm so happy. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed my Amethyst series and my Amethyst tour. Now be prepared. There is something coming. I've probably already announced it at this point, but if I haven't, I'm not saying anything. But winter, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I hope you're all excited. I've got big plans. Now, anyway, don't forget, if you did enjoy this series, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Come join the Jellybean family. Have the loveliest of days. I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.